Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Lois Hermann, and this is Anthony D'Alessandro from Trillium Botanicals. And why did we decide to do this, Anthony?
This is to let people know, either again or in another way or for the first time, how certain botanicals can help in a lot of significant ways to balance one's energy and also to open someone up to higher levels of frequencies and energetic states.
Absolutely. And Anthony's one of 10 speakers who are coming together on the Energy Clearing and Alignment virtual conference that goes live on Sunday. So we are getting this message out there so that you get your early bird discount now, before Saturday. The conference is going to continue on. So if you don't make it by Saturday, you'll still have an opportunity to log in and be able to watch Anthony and Mark Atwood and Kristen Hurley and Sharon and Greg Hoffman, myself, Lois Herman, and a whole bunch of other people, Catherine Edwards. So there's a bunch of 10 different speakers who are speaking on their ways of keeping their energy strong. So we're all giving you different facets of how to keep your energy strong and healthy, especially in this chaotic, crazy time we live in, right?
Yeah, I would say it's probably the most stressful, the most crazy time of my lifetime, and that I imagine a lot of people feel the same way. It seems an unprecedented level of chaos in the world. Certainly, the world of what we hear is going on, and
Right.
probably to a degree what is actually going on. Yeah.
Yes. So we've decided to give you a whole passel, shall we say, of remedies, and you'll be able to listen to each speaker when you want, as many times as you want. It's not like you have to sit down all day on Sunday and watch 10 speakers for 10 hours. You can watch this on your own time. And you can find it. Anthony will give you his link. I'll give you my link. You can link up and find this on Gnostic TV. It is a conference on Gnostic TV. You can always go to my website, loisherman.com, and find more information. But come join us. You will be so glad you did. This is designed for the holistic wellness enthusiasts, the spiritual seekers, light workers, everyone who is energy conscious and aware, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I think Lois, you did a fantastic job assembling the group, and I'm not saying that with any bias in mind. Although I'm impressed. Well, I was pleasantly surprised because it's not something that people. I don't think it's something that people think about. When they first think about energy, that their energies are clearing their energy, pointing to plant medicine and other natural compounds.
Mhm.
But with all the folks that you chose, I'm sure that anyone will find something, and probably more than one thing, that resonates with them.
Mhm.
And from my part, my world of working is in natural remedies. So a lot of those are plants. A segment of those are the mushrooms. And then there's also some of the earth elements,
Mhm.
gold and silver specifically, which we haven't talked very much about.
Mm.
But those formulations are useful for the body. And one note about gold in particular, it's very, very healing for the heart, healing, and also the heart's function. They I don't know how they, well, I probably know how they know, but apparently the highest concentration, we do have gold in our body naturally, and the highest concentration of gold is in our hearts, which is wonderful. And you can sort of imagine that it is true.
Mm.
um, but I'd say the first pass with the work that I do, the easiest way to look at it is like, as a biological being, if you're out of balance, then your body's priority is to fix that imbalance. So, if you look at the gamut of things that are important, you have the base function at one end of the scale, and then you have spiritual activity, spiritual enlightenment, spiritual practice, probably at the other end of that spectrum. So, like, very, very, very simply put, if your body's not happy, it'll be more difficult for you to work on some of these energetic fronts, or these energetic efforts that a lot of us are working on. And as far as the plant medicine goes, specifically the medical phytocannabinoids, which is certainly my specialty. The entire function of those compounds is to balance the body, is to allow the body to balance itself, technically speaking. A lot of people come to learn pretty quickly, and it's usually a person's first aha moment that these plants produce compounds that our body produces naturally, and those are like keys that go into the lock that basically unlock a very fundamental system in our body that creates balance and maintains balance.
Well, you're
So
going to be you talk a lot about that in this conference. So people need to log in, sign up, and get the secrets that you're sharing about these keys that unlock the potential in our bodies. What we didn't have is somebody talking about, like, the gold in our bank account.
no, oh yeah,
there's a silver and gold there too, but this
Yeah,
is the bank account that we're focusing on, is this physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual body that we've got to keep enriched. And
yes, exactly.
right?
Yeah, and we go over a lot of different things. I mean, I have many formulas. The
Yes.
way that I work is often with people one-on-one, and I've been doing this for so long, 12 years now, that
Mhm.
I would create a formula or a remedy for someone specific to what they were dealing with, and then over time, obviously, many people are challenged with the same things.
Similar thing.
But at this point, there's probably over 100 formulas, and we do talk about a fair number of them
Yes.
in the conference.
And then there's more to talk about. Right now, I
Oh,
think we need one for fear and the anxiety that is being
mhm.
produced by society, because we
Yeah,
all need to get into a place of homeostasis to where we can keep ourselves in a balanced alignment. It's critical right now. We've got to stay healthy and strong right now. It's so important.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And speaking of fear, I mean, that's a almost like a, I don't know if they call it a derangement syndrome, but it is a derangement syndrome, because the blood in your brain goes to the back, which is the opposite side of the front, which is where the frontal cortex is, which is where we typically and healthfully make decisions.
Really? So
Yeah.
those people who are coming from their head and not their heart, this is what I'm seeing a lot of,
Oh
people who are
yeah.
making some pretty rash, judgmental statements. And I'm
Hmm.
wondering what is the matter with them, other than they're being programmed. But you're saying it's actually a physiologic imbalance in where the blood is going in the
In the
brain.
neurology. Yeah, in the neurology.
Really
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
fascinating. And you have a remedy for that?
Sure.
All
Well,
right.
I tell you, brain. So the brain, like the cannabinoids in the brain, like that's where most of the most important receptors are for these compounds, because our body produces the compounds. They're effectively neurotransmitters,
Mhm.
so they work on the brain primarily, and then they work on the nervous system, and then they also work everywhere else to other degrees.
Mhm.
But balancing the brain, that is what cannabinoids do.
Mm.
That's what they do.
Wow.
So anxiety, I have to say, over the course of the decade or so, the top uses are pain,
Mm.
anxiety, and sleep,
Mhm.
and that hasn't changed.
And sleep is
Anxiety is one of the top three. Yeah,
correct. And pain and anxiety will keep you from sleeping, and yet sleep is one of the
right.
best ways to combat pain and anxiety, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's well, but yeah, it all comes back to the holistic model. You're 100% correct.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
come join us, please. We're looking forward to sharing, and we will see you there. Any last thoughts, Anthony, before we just get everybody to come to our conference?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited, as I said, about introducing these particular remedies for this use, and I'm excited to see how people um, will be able to utilize them as they need to. But I think it's going to be quite enlightening, actually.
I'm looking forward to sharing. There's so many great insights shared by these amazing thought leaders like you. So thank you, Anthony, for the work you're doing. And thank everyone for joining us, for watching, for listening, and for sharing. And be prepared with your questions for Anthony, because we're planning to have a, a panel discussion. So make sure you've got all your questions to ask, and we're going to be able to have all of the speakers together and answer questions. So stay tuned.
Sounds good. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Lois.
We'll see you there.
Okay.
Bye bye for now.